So it's the day after the Southend shakedown. I'm in my garage again, mini garage. Gloves. I spent it's a couple of hours there. We stopped at some services and then met up with some others, and then because we got to Southend about, I think it's about 11:30 by the time we got there. It was heaving. I think Southend was expecting a couple of thousand, and according to the last bits of information we saw, there was somewhere between 22 and 30,000 bikes there, which is madness. But one thing I did find after going all the way there and then all the way back yesterday, not getting home until about about 6 o'clock yesterday evening, as you can see I'm a bit tender as well because it's a very nice hot sunny day. My exhaust, the Dominator that I pointed out on the previous video, it's too loud. Even with earplugs in for the whole trip, I came home with a headache yesterday, and it's just a constant vibration, and it's just unpleasant. So luckily when I bought the bike, they gave me the original exhaust with it. So this monstrosity here, which is heavy as well, I'm going to I'm going to put it back on the bike and see what it's like, ride it for a couple of weeks and see whether it's actually okay to the sound of it. Maybe find another exhaust for it in the near future that's not as loud as a Dominator, but is better than the stock. I need to clean it up. I need to kind of get the old exhaust off, and I need to do all that kind of good work and get that sorted. So join me for that. It's not another biking video. Hopefully I should have the Southend stuff out in the next couple of days. Apologies, I didn't take any pictures there. I put some pictures as me and my and the group I was with left Milton Keynes to head down there, and I got loads of video there and back, but I didn't take any pictures there because it was absolutely heaving with people. It was slightly overwhelming. I'm not usually the type to get overwhelmed, but it took us so long to park or get somewhere decent to park, and then we spent maybe 2 hours there, and then we left because it was just madness. And I kind of really didn't get an opportunity to get the camera out properly. It was also really warm. Like I said, I burnt my head, my massive forehead. So yeah, that was yesterday, bank holiday Monday. It's now Tuesday. I'm still on leave, which is nice, for the rest of today. Back to work tomorrow. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do today, along with some few other bits and pieces, but I'm going to try and do this. But first of all, I need to try and clean the exhaust up, and I might, if it works on this box down here, I'm going to try the headers as well, or the whatever the cause, the front of the exhaust where it enters the engine. What does that call over here? Manifold, or is it header? One of them's American and one of them is British. So I'm going to give that a go anyway. So join me for that, and we will see how that goes. The main box isn't looking too dirty, so it shouldn't take too long to clean up. So let's go. So here I am back out on the drive. It's another glorious day, blue skies. It's about 20 to 11. It's starting to warm up nicely. I've got the exhaust here, a couple of tools. I've got a T20 and a T30 to remove some of the plastics, and a 13mm spanner to remove the clamp at the front. And what we're going to do is just start some cleaning, get the bits off, and then start cleaning. We're going to try a few bits and pieces, like I said earlier. I've got some alloy wheel cleaner. I'm going to try it on a spot and see if that helps. And I've also got some metal polish and some rough cloths as well. Most of this is just dust, but there is some road grind on it, grime, sorry, and a few other bits and pieces. So we'll see how it goes from there. See these bolts here? They're T20 bolts. They seem to kind of be used on the BMW almost everywhere. If that focus, It's a Torx bolt, but they seem to be everywhere. They hold down bits of the fairing, some bits under the seat, stuff like that. It's quite a popular bolt. And you can see here where the plastic is broken. I found one online. I'm going to order one. I'll put it on the bike as it is, and then when it comes I'll get that replaced. Obviously the previous owner probably broke it somehow, maybe dropped it when they were taking it off. I think that should... there's one bolt there still. I'm keeping it on this plastic wrapping so that I don't end up damaging it on the drive. It is a bit stiff. So that's 3 bolts from there. Screws. I mean, it's not the prettiest of exhausts, I'm not going to lie, BMW. Considering you make such good looking bikes and cars, why would you add this to it? It's probably some Euro 5 or whatever they're called thing. The exhaust has to comply to certain bits and pieces. Should just be these 2 on this one. Come on, there we go. Yeah, they've all come out well. Slightly suspicious. So a couple of bolts, some pieces of plastic, some shielding. They'll just wipe off. I'll just get a cleaner. But I know, a bit of rubbing with and it starts to clean up quite nicely. So I think this is just going to need that. I don't know how the exhaust fits onto the bike. I'm assuming this plate here bolts onto the back of the engine where the other exhaust is bolted on, and then this fits through. Let's move it a little closer. You can see there's 2 holes, rubber grommeted holes here. That fits through there, and then it doesn't actually bolt onto the bike there. That holds it there, and then on the back here, at the top end of the exhaust here, are 2 bolts here, and there is a space round by the back right hand rear foot peg where that would fit through. So I'm going to try that. It looks pretty obvious, so we'll give that a go. So I've decided to try using this stuff again on the exhaust before using the alloy wheel cleaner. I want to see if something that's a little bit less abrasive will clean it off. So let's give it a good spray down and see what happens. I think, other than a few spots, it's in reasonably good condition. There we go. No point doing these end bits here. If I show you, ends of the exhaust here, these are going to be covered by plastic, and they're in good condition, so I don't need to worry too much about them. Yeah, it's looking okay. So that's that done. It didn't take more than a couple of minutes. Let's tidy this up, which is the plate which I believe attaches to the back of the bike. This is definitely going to be one of those moments where I have to figure it out as I go, and it's going to be not easy. Or, and you never know, it might be really easy. Yeah, so looking at this, let's just Get this blue roll. It's not so dirty. There's 3 bolt holes, possibly. So looking at this, you can see this hole here, that hole there, and that one down there. You can see where a bolt was in them. Now, does it sit that way up, or does it sit that way up on the bike? I need to examine the underside of the bike, which means getting the bike out here. Yeah, I think most of this is cleaned up nicely though. From what I can see, no serious signs of degradation or damage. It's just, I mean, that probably wouldn't be any worse than if it was sat on the bike. In fact, you'll probably find it's actually cleaner now than if it was on the bike and I never had the exhaust change, or that whoever changed the exhaust did it. That's good of them to give me the exhaust though with it. So, let's get the bike out here. I'm going to get the bike out here, lay under it and start trying to figure out, probably get it up on its paddock stand as well so I can lift it up a bit, and then figure out just how everything comes apart. Wish me luck. So I've had a quick look under the bike and I'll show you. Right, let's crawl under. You can see here, there's this bolt here and this bolt here. I hope you can see this. I might have to get some light in here. And a third bolt here, which is still in the engine block. So that will be the third one. So that shows you the orientation of that. And that is, this thing here is the only thing that's holding the whole exhaust, other than this clamp here, onto the bike. Because if we come up and around the other side, you can see that this bracket here, just in there, is not attached to the exhaust in any way. So that's obviously how Dominators decided to do it, which is fine. Obviously it's there, they know what they're doing. So hopefully it shouldn't be too difficult to get this off. We'll see. Yeah, we will see. I say hopefully. So I've moved the camera under the bike and I've put a bit of light under here so we can all see what's going on. I've got myself a T40, a Torx 40 bit. Try and get these nuts out now. There we go. So that's 3 bolts out. And you can see, yeah, lovely. Right, let's get this bus bit off. That's the exhaust loose, so with a bit of a wiggle, it should come off. Nope. Oh, that's on tight. How am I going to get this off? Oh, there we go, bit of movement. It is moving, it's just on very tight. So I really can't get it to shift, so I'm going to put some WD-40, just a little bit of a spray, see if it will help loosen it up a little bit. You know, like if you get a ring caught on your finger, and a little bit of soap goes a long way to loosening it up. Okay, we'll give that a minute or two and see how that goes. Okay, it's been a couple of minutes. it's starting to come. Here we go. Yeah, so the WD-40 did the trick. Just starting to come off now. There we go. I've got some movement now. And we're off. Ta-da! That is all it is. So the rest of the cat and stuff's still here. And I can't believe it's just this one thing that makes all that noise. It's got a bit of a dent on the back, which I don't know where that came from. Is it mucky? I'm going to keep hold of it for a bit, because I might hate it without it. But I might sell it. I don't know yet. We shall see. Okay, so I've decided it's going to go on like that. Just there. It's obvious. That's how the bolts go. So they all look the same. Nothing special about any of them. So I'm just going to finger tighten them up, and then hopefully getting the old exhaust back on is going to not be as much of a wrestling act as getting the Dominator off. I'll just do them up as tight as I can. I have got a torque wrench, but I wouldn't have thought these would need torquing. They might do, but I'll just do them up as much as I can do it without screwing the heads of the bolt up. So I'll go over the top one first. Yeah, that seems nice and tight. So does that, and so does that one. Excellent. That should be those bits done. Okay, so back around to the side of the bike. I've got the 2 bolts, if you can see them, for attaching it to this. I've got the clamp, which will go around the exhaust. Just need to undo that, and all I've got to do is try and fit it now. We'll see how that goes. It looks like it's going to be a little bit fiddly, so bear with me, would you? I'm going to put this on there now, so I don't forget that it's on there. Also, don't forget to put it on, should I say. Okay, it's obviously meant to fit up to here. There we go. Let's get this bolt back on. So my aim is get it on, get these two screws here into there loosely, and then we'll get some jiggery pokery on the go. Okay, right, let's see how easy this is then. This is heavy, very heavy exhaust. That come back like that, and then yeah, and then can't really see. That's the problem, this whole lot's in the way, can't see a thing. I'm not sure what size, I reckon it sits that size of that. That's what I think, it's just, you just got to wiggle. And I'm in. Well, that was easy. As far in as it'll go. I don't want the exhaust hanging off that lot just for too long, so we're going to put these Torx bolts in now, just to hold it in position. Start with the back one. Just a little bit loose, just so I can get it bolts in. I like a bit of spannering, but I'm not very good. Well, it's not that I'm not very good, it's just I'm not very experienced in it. Okay, these are in. That's on there okay. And from what I can tell, although it's very difficult to see, both of those are on there okay. So I think I'm in. So I'm going to do this bolt up. It looks like it's on. I'm going to do that bolt up. There's like a keyway here. It's obviously there to hold position. That's undone. Let's do up. Do that up first. That way round probably help. There you go. Oh, I'm doing it the wrong way. Why is that not doing up? There we go. Until I can't do it anymore, I think. I mean, that should be tight. That's it. I mean, that's really tight on there. Let's get these torques done up here. That will then hold the exhaust nice and firmly to the body of the bike. Okay, so that's the exhaust on. I'm actually quite surprised, a little bit suspicious to how easily that's gone. What I'm going to do quickly is pop the plastics on off camera, and then we'll do a little bit of an engine test to make sure it's all working okay. Let's do it. Okay, that's all on now. The black plastic bit back here took a little bit of time because there's a bolt around the back here that was a bit fiddly, but they went on quite quick. The refuse collectors, bin collectors, binmen, whatever you want to call them, turned up about 5 minutes ago, so I would have started it then, but I didn't want them in the shot and the sound. So you are going to witness what the bike sounds like for the first time for me with the normal exhaust on. Now, I've heard it on YouTube videos, but I don't actually know if it, you can't tell. What I'll do is I'll play a bit from the video the other day where I was running the exhaust to kind of warm it up, and then I'll compare that to this. So this is what the exhaust with the Dominator used to sound like. It's really loud. Quite loud, right? Little bit oppressive. This is what the OEM exhaust sounds like. You ready? Oh. Let that warm up a minute. So that's a lot quieter than I was expecting. Really, a lot quieter than I was expecting. I don't know what I was expecting actually. It doesn't sound too bad from back here. Yeah, let me just take you outside again so I can show you. As you can see, there is some smoke down there. That's just probably where I've put the cleaner on. Hope you can hear me. It doesn't sound too bad actually. Bit of moisture out of the exhaust there, that's probably just normal. fact, I think it sounds okay. We'll have to see what it sounds like. I might have to see if I can get out this evening quickly for a quick blast about, see what it sounds like. Yeah, that's just WD-40 and stuff cleaning off, burning off. So I'll let this one warm up. Yeah, it's getting warm. Yeah. So that's it. I don't know yet how I feel. I'm so used to having such a loud exhaust that this one being quieter, but it doesn't sound too bad to me. There was a lot of smoke coming off it. I'm hoping that's the cleaner that I put on the exhaust just burning off. I'll just keep an eye on it for a couple of minutes. Okay, I monitored it for a few minutes. It's fine. It was the cleaner kind of burning off, and then I shut it down because even though it's quieter now, it's still loud enough to annoy the neighbours. That's it then. Back to the normal exhaust. Like I said earlier, I'm going to go for a blast this afternoon. I will record that, get some decent audio for it, and then we can see what it sounds like on the road. It'd be interesting to see how much of it I can hear with my helmet on. Because that's all I could hear was a Dominator with it on. It was oppressive, as I said. I used to come back with, if I didn't wear earplugs, I used to come back with ringing ears. That's it. Thank you for joining me again. A little bit of mechanics, a little bit of spannering. Yeah, not a lesson as before because I don't do that. But yeah, have a good rest of your week. I'll catch you out on the roads. Ride safe.